Breakfast with Mark Gibson.
On ABC Radio Perth WA and on the ABC Listen app.
Good morning. 9 minutes to 7. We are going to talk ageing next. Oh, do we really need to? Yeah, we do, because researchers have come up with something really interesting about the 2 points in our life where ageing really takes its toll.
7:20 ABC Radio Perth.
Well, if you're starting to notice a few more aches and pains or feeling like you've aged almost overnight, maybe you fall into one of these categories. Researchers have discovered that rather than being slow and steady, ageing happens in two main accelerated bursts. These ages are 44 and 60. Now, does this ring true for you? Do you reckon your mid-40s and early 60s were significant moments of ageing? Or maybe you'd like to nominate another age or stage. Let me know. 1300 222 720. Dr. Rina Fu is a lecturer at Edith Cowan University and researcher at the Curtin Health Innovation Research Institute. Good morning, Rina.
Good morning.
Thank you for coming in, because this is really interesting reading, isn't it? How did they do this? They're looking at molecules.
That's right. So the study is from America, and it's recently published just last week. And what they have done is tracking a group size of 108 individuals aging from 25 all the way up to 70 years old. And they have been collecting samples, including some stool or poo samples, nasal swabs and skin samples and blood as well, every few months to track any changes in biomolecules. So they did a really large scale of omics studies. And in scientific term, it's basically the sciences that talks about identifying and describing and quantifying these biomolecules that can translate to some structural or functional parts of the cells and tissues.
So from what I read, these American researchers were a little bit surprised about the mid-40s age bracket, that 44 age, as being a point, because they thought previously that might have been women only and around that age, and then they've discovered, no, it's men as well.
Yeah, so the study looked at whether aging is a gradual and linear kind of process, okay? And previously we thought, if we see any changes in female subjects, it could be because of the hormonal changes in around the perimenopausal or during menopausal age. However, it's really interesting. They found similar trends in males.
Around the same age. So, and then take us through to that second bracket, because as you say, we do always think of ageing as being so gradual, but there was that age around the mid-40s, and again, what happens around 60?
Yeah, so around 40s, the researchers found that there were markers with more changes that's related to cardiovascular disease or the way our body metabolize or process lipids and alcohol. But for the 60s year group, the studies found there were more markers with dramatic changes related to our immune regulation as well as the way we metabolize carbohydrates.
So, I guess the only missing piece with this is kind of beyond all that. If they went up to 70, 75, I think, age group, because you think from that point ageing is going to start taking its toll again, but they didn't go beyond that, did they?
No, so to the credit of the authors, they've actually described some limitations to their study, and that is exactly including a broader upper age group for aging. And they also noted that for the earlier young 25 to 40 age group, they only had about 8 subjects. And so they need to expand on the study, including more, recruit more participants, I guess. But regardless, it's a really good baseline study.
If you've got any thoughts on this, join the conversation. 1300 222 720. What did you notice around your mid-40s and the age of 60? Or you can nominate another time. Rina, I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I reckon a couple of years ago, when I turned 50, I thought 50 was a really big point of, I don't want to use the word decline, but it was. I found 50, I went bang. Not just because of the birthday, but I noticed changes around 50, which falls just outside these categories.
Yeah, it's like closer to being a centenarian.
Yeah, maybe. No, but I noticed some physical changes, some things that just happen with age. Oh, even just the hair going greyer, just those aging things.
Sign of wisdom, isn't it?
Is it? Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what I call it.
Oh, thank you. I'll stick with that. What does this mean, though? What can we do with this information?
Yeah, so if we notice that there are these changes happening, we can pay attention to our lifestyle. That's always a first go-to. So exercise has been shown by years of research to have a positive health impact, as well as oxidative stress is another one that would kind of promote our cells to age more. And so just paying attention to not taking things that your body doesn't need, like eating healthy and not taking in junk, is really good.
Okay, so it gives us that message about looking after ourselves. Do you think then if people are approaching those age brackets, you need to remember that you can't do what you used to do? You do need to make some changes?
You do, and it's sometimes, in some ways, like, being sensible, because with age, it's a natural phenomenon. It's characterized by gradual accumulation of our body's abilities or inability to repair itself. And so there's the muscle weakness, and it's also could be cognitive decline gradually, or peaking at those points according to this research. And so we do have to look after ourselves to make those decisions that will not overdo ourselves.
So a couple of people on the text line just weighing into this with different age brackets. Oh, Alex asks, what do us over 70s have to look forward to? That's not included in this study, is it really?
Oh, well, hopefully family time, quality time.
Yes.
Lots of nature walks. Australia is beautiful.
Yes.
Explore, get some fresh air.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
That mobility up of the joints.
Always the best advice. And Steve in Joondalup, I noticed in my mid-40s that suddenly I'm now in my mid-50s and I don't know where those 10 years went. Well, that's another issue.
Time has gone by so fast. I mean, this is often the time when everything's happening. Yeah.
So this is molecular changes in our bodies, and from that they can extrapolate that there are these physical and mental changes potentially to our behaviour and our ageing process.
Yeah, that's right. And so there's lots of groups around the world that's actually looking at biomarkers that may predict or ageing process that relates to function, and how maybe we can address these in a preventative mode rather than a reactive mode.
All right, we are out of time, but I guess the thing with the message I always think with ageing, when we want to lament the fact we're getting older, is, Rina, it's better than the alternative, right?
Definitely.
Dr. Rina Fu, thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. So what do you think of those ages? 44, that's very specific from those study participants, 44 and 60, the 2 points where you age the most. 1300 222 720 if you'd like to have a chat with me this morning. We are coming up to the 7 o'clock news now.
100 years of radio in WA. 6WF 720 ABC Perth.